Pregnancy jab. In 2016, during the junket for The Shallows, Norwegian journalist Kirsty Fla congratulated Blake Lively on what she thought was a pregnancy glow. And
first of all, congrats on your little bump.
Instead of laughing it off, Blake shot back with a cruel barb.
Congrats on your little bump.
What about my bump?
Fla wasn't pregnant, as the dig landed like a punch, especially since Fla later revealed she struggles with infertility, which turned Blake's joke into something deeply hurtful. The interview got worse when Fla asked about the film's costumes.
Did you guys love wearing those kind of clothes that you...
Yeah.
With Blake rolling her eyes and unnecessarily snapping back by saying,
Yeah.
And you know, working in
Everyone
digital...
wants to talk about the clothes, but I wonder if they would ask the men about the clothes.
What the f is wrong with you?
When Fla assured Blake that she would ask male actors the same, Blake cheekily smirked and pulled her body away as she began chatting with her co-star Parker Pose, leaving the ignored Fla in silence.
That's what I'm saying. His wardrobe was beautiful. Corey's wardrobe was...
The dismissive body language, awkward pose, and visible humiliation were all caught on camera. Fla later admitted the exchange made her want to quit her job, calling it bullying behavior.
You know what? It's not okay to behave like that, and
Blake's woke hypocrisy unraveled as she preaches feminism but cruelly punches down at other women to protect her image. Jen Hijack, on the press tour for It Ends With Us, a film centered on domestic violence, Blake Lively sat down with Swedish journalist Magnus Sundholm in a discussion about the film.
How do you say your name?
Magnus Sundholm.
Discussion derailed quickly as halfway through, Blake abruptly pivoted to her husband Ryan Reynolds' company, Aviation Gin.
Magnus,
yes.
When I saw you earlier, you said, "Oh, let me get a shot." And I thought you meant of alcohol, but you meant a photograph. So guess what? Time to put up.
And what are we drinking?
Aviation American Gin.
For nearly 5 minutes, she gossiped about the brand's storytelling quality, even though she's publicly admitted she doesn't drink alcohol.
Dude, like straight shots.
But I hear you don't drink, right?
The irrelevant shift was caught on camera, with Sundholm's smile quickly fading away as he tried redirecting to the movie, only for Blake to keep circling back to gin.
Filming it and all of that. And the same thing with alcohol when I hear about, you know, how this is distilled in Portland and how the reason this one is winning all the taste tests actually is because gin has a high juniper content.
At one point, even waved the product card at the lens, turning a sensitive film junket into a marketing pitch.
Aviation American Gin, who's owned by a very, very sexy man.
The awkwardness was palpable as Sundholm barely spoke because Blake dominated the exchange. Clips quickly started circulating across entertainment news sites, with fans calling it tone-deaf product placement during a domestic violence press tour. Sundholm himself later said she had hijacked the interview.
It's kind of surreal in a bit because that and was completely ambushed by her promoting her husband's gin.
For many, it underscored Blake's woke hypocrisy as she preaches empowerment on screen but uses a serious platform to plug her family's business interests. Baldoni Snap. During the It Ends With Us press junket, an interviewer asked a simple question about her on-site chemistry with director and co-star James Baldoni. Before the question even finished, Blake snapped,
"Thank goodness."
You were teaching Justin how to pull you in.
Where have you seen that?
What a stupid question that is.
Her tone was sharp, defensive, and immediately froze the room as if she was hiding something. The journalist stumbled and was visibly rattled, while Blake glared back. Co-star Isabella Merced quickly jumped in by praising the set environment in an attempt to smoothen the awkwardness. The moment featuring Blake's hostility and Merced's damage control is all on video as clips spread fast across social media.
I actually just saw it too. It was on Instagram yesterday, I think.
Fans linked the snap to Blake's escalated feud with Baldoni as she filed legal claims accusing him of harassment and running a smear campaign, with Baldoni countersuing her for $400 million, alleging Blake bullied him off his own project.
I had never read a romance novel.
Never?
And she said, "Just trust me, read it." So I read it.
Her public outburst became a display for the hostility, as a junket meant to promote the film instead turned into proof of personal warfare. Blake advocates for kindness, yet she lashed out and belittled the journalist.
Hi, Stephanie. You should leave him.
DV joke. On another It Ends With Us press Q&A, a journalist asked Blake Lively a serious question.
Themes of this movie comes across you in public and they want to really talk to you. What's the best way for them to be able to talk to you about this? How would you recommend they go about it?
How she would connect with fans who've lived through domestic abuse, given the film's heavy subject. Instead of answering with empathy, Blake smirked and shot back,
Asking for like my address or my phone number or like my location share. Or I could just location share you.
emotional, damn it!
Blake's sarcastic tone was crystal clear on tape as the room went silent with only a few nervous laughs breaking the tension. The interviewer's face dropped because he expected sincerity, but instead got a flip-it, unserious punchline.
Or like my location share? I could just location share you.
Clip spread online immediately, with viewers calling it tone-deaf and arrogant, with many pointing out how dismissive she seemed of the very issue the film was meant to spotlight. Rather than showing compassion, Blake casually treated the question like a nuisance by dodging it with a joke that landed as careless.
I'm just curious.
Social security number.
I'm a Virgo, so I'm like, are we talking logistics?
Fans, it was another viral example of her cruelty in interviews and her woke hypocrisy in claiming to empower survivors on screen while mocking the critical subject off it. Cage Remark. At a Gossip Girl fan Q&A, Blake Lively sat on stage alongside co-star Leighton Meester.
It was that, locked in a cage, brainwashed by an old lady, addicted to cough syrup with rattlesnakes.
When asked about their beginnings, Blake gestured toward Leighton and smirked, well, some of us started in a cage. A
promise was no pet monkey. Yeah. Chuck has a matching pet monkey with coordinating outfits, and I was like, I would love to be part of the show, but I can't act with a monkey. And then I got a few of them.
She should have kept her mouth shut.
Biting reference to Leighton's real-life past when she was born while her mother was in prison. The moment captured on video shows the crowd's awkward and muted reaction, with Leighton clearly uncomfortable as she forces a tight smile. Meanwhile, Blake laughed at her own quip, casually brushing it off as harmless banter. But for fans, it was not just a joke, but deliberate humiliation.
Come on, it was a joke!
Years later, the video resurfaced on TikTok and sparked renewed outrage, with comments flooding in calling it cold-blooded, bully energy, and classic mean girl behavior. Blake being so casual about weaponizing her co-star's painful history cemented an elitist streak.
Everyone knows blondes are nicer anyway.
Shocking.
Her hypocrisy is unparalleled as she publicly promotes herself as a feminist champion of women while she tears down another woman for laughs. Her woke persona rarely matches her actions. Bracelet Snub. On the London red carpet for It Ends With Us, a fan reached out with a handmade friendship bracelet for Blake Lively. With the cameras capturing every moment, Blake smiled politely and said,
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. That's so sweet.
but immediately undercut the warm gesture with,
I'm gonna put it here because it doesn't go with my outfit, but I will wear it later.
as she sat the bracelet beside on the table next to her and never put it on. Right beside her co-star, Isabella Merced, took the same kind of bracelet, slipped it on immediately, and thanked the fan with genuine...
Thank you! Oh my god, I'm gonna put it on. Thank you so much.
Took the same kind of bracelet, slipped it on immediately, and thanked the fan with genuine excitement. The side-by-side footage became the viral moment, showing Isabella warm and gracious, while Blake cold and dismissive.
And thought she seemed nice, and little did I know.
We got the body language experts analyzing this right now.
Just a bad look. It cemented her reputation for arrogance, as once again, her woke image of kindness and female empowerment collided with her actions, exposing her hypocrisy in the most public way possible. DV cocktails. At the New York premiere after party for It Ends With Us, Blake Lively used the event to showcase her Betty Buzz and Betty Booze drink.
When I first started Betty Buzz, I set out to create the best tasting sparkling
lines, as video clips and press photos reveal branded cocktail menus featuring film-inspired names. The most shocking was Ryle You Wait, seen as a pun on Ryle, the film's abusive husband.
And I love Betty Buzz.
Stop the cap!
Footage shows Blake posing beside the bar and smiling as trays of themed cocktails are served. Instead of honoring the film's heavy subject matter, she turned the night into a marketing stage for alcohol at a domestic violence awareness film.
Thanks for coming. I'm so grateful to have you guys here. We, Betty Booze, we've spent so much time on every single flavor.
Online fans were outraged as screenshots of the cocktail names spread across X and TikTok, with comments calling it tone-deaf, exploitive, and disgusting. Critics said Blake's actions showed complete insensitivity as she promoted booze with joking names tied to a serious story about abuse. For many, this became the breaking point, as rather than a voice for empowerment, Blake...
She's just launched a new alcohol brand called Betty Booze. Here's the problem. Blake Lively, she literally says this in an Instagram post promoting Betty Booze, her new alcoholic line of beverages. She says, "Drinking isn't my thing."
Blake looked self-serving as her antics became proof that her woke feminism is just a mask for opportunism and personal branding. Kelly Feud. As Blake Lively's feud with Justin Baldoni spiraled into lawsuits, her legal team made the surprising move of subpoenaing journalist Megyn Kelly.
These two Hollywood mega millionaires think nothing of harassing powerless people on social media.
On her Sirius XM show, Kelly fired back with a 14-minute rant that instantly went viral. In the video, Kelly doesn't hold back as she calls Blake a sad, pathetic, untalented, narcissistic.
Have to realize she's a liar. Blake Lively is a narcissistic, liar, bully, brat.
An elitist Hollywood snob who uses her status to intimidate. Kelly stressed that she wasn't paid for her rant as she genuinely felt harassed by Blake's legal tactics. Clips of the tirade spread everywhere, clipped down for TikTok and Twitter with subtitles for maximum reach as millions watched Kelly describe Blake as someone who bullies not just co-stars or journalists but even the press itself.
She tried to wrest control of the movie. It ends with us from Justin. From the editing to the wardrobe to the writing of the script and so on. And
although Blake wasn't on camera, the viral footage branded her more clearly than any junket clip could. Instead of the polished feminist advocate that she sells to the public, Kelly's words cemented her image as a woke bully.
A liar. It's obvious. We could go on, but you know the truth.
A Hollywood star who preaches empowerment but thrives on cruelty. Time's up. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video from my fun, lighthearted channel, Hollywood Body Count, I'd love a cheeky like, subscribe, and comment. No pressure, no sweat, your call.